This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by
freestateproject.org/liberty forum. freestateproject.org/liberty forum.
It's Dave Ridley here, starting in for RidleyReport.com. I have on the line with me Cynthia from Dover, the traffic court resistor. And Cynthia, you just got out of court. Tell me what happened.
Well, the trial was set for 9 a.m. We had a bunch of people show up from all over the area, maybe 10 or 12. Yeah, Grafton, Manchester, Bristol, Derry. And so I guess the first incident that happened, David and Mike both entered the courtroom with recording equipment. They got through fine, no problem. And then I had made funny little press passes for everyone. They looked totally legitimate, of course, since I have such a good track record. And someone left the building and came back in, and he was stopped. So this was David. He goes by the name of Smiley. They kind of don't like him anyways, so this started the process of denying the cameras, even based on the fact that he sort of had some sort of press credentials. So the next event that happened, we finally were called up at, I guess, 11:15. So we were waiting there for quite some time. They had lots of other victims that were sort of, shuttled through the system to pay their fines. The judge actually transferred a lot of those to community service. And so what I did when Ivan and we both went up, the prosecutor came over to her, trying to bully her and intimidate her, saying, "Who are you? You can't be up here. You have to go sit down."
Who is she trying to bully?
The prosecutor was trying to intimidate and bully Ivy because she was helping me out. And
Ivy from Grafton. Okay, yeah, right.
And so she told him straight up, no, according to RSA 311:1, she is allowed non-legal counsel. You can look it up if you want. So he backed off. He, of course, had no authority to do that. He should have been minding his own business. So then he came back at me and said, by the way, we're going to be broadcasting a YouTube video with you as the star. And I laughed, of course, realizing that he had not provided that in open discovery to me, so he would not be able to show that. So again, just trying to intimidate and bully us.
So let me get this straight. The prosecutor was trying to videotape you and use it to scare you?
No, Dave. He said he was streaming a video that they got off of YouTube, one of the two that you made of me.
Oh, okay, I see.
And so he said it was starring me, so that he was going to use this as evidence. So then the judge, he came, he was on the bench, and he said, the process, sort of read the case, asked how I plead. I said I already pled at my arraignment, which was non-guilty. So then the prosecutor brings up his case. Then he puts the cop or the officer on the stand for questioning. And then he either rested his case or I was able to cross-examine the officer. I caught him in quite a few contradictions. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good show. I even got him to get up and do some sketches, and then I got to tell him to sit down, and he had to do it. It was kind of funny. And then the prosecutor tried to introduce this evidence on YouTube, and the judge shut it down right away. I didn't even have to make an objection. It would have just been ridiculous. And I'm sorry. Before we started, but we were up in front of the judge, I asked him to have a brief hearing. I want to have a motion to have a brief hearing on the issue of the cameras. Why are they not being allowed? I have a right to record my own trial. why do they have to be press? Why do they have to be established press? So this is an area we need to work on and get a definitive answer. And so that's something that we're sort of going to put in a couple motions for. So the judge shut down the last bit of evidence, and then so the prosecution rested. So then I was able to offer proof and bring up a bunch of things just within statements, basically about right to travel, and about how the officer had made a bunch of contradictions, and that he had impeached himself, and to suppress him as a witness. And so then I asked it was sort of long-winded or something. They had to go to lunch, so they really wanted to get me out of here. So the prosecution brought up, does she need to maybe bring up some sort of memorandum of law? And so we sort of jumped on that, like, yes, we would. Can I have another 3 weeks? And so the judge granted it. And so the way the trial was finished for that day was the judge took it under advisement, which means he still has to make a decision. He could dismiss it, and he did give us 3 weeks, so we certainly have some time to file more motions. Basically, double jeopardy and due process, and of course the memorandum of law concerning the right to travel. So all in all, it took about an hour and 15 minutes, and the most I suppose that they could get me for is $60. So it was comical at times, and everything went pretty smoothly. I think most of us enjoyed ourselves. It was pretty good.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you're free and not in too much trouble. Of course, I guess, like you said, there wasn't that much at stake to begin with. So I'm glad you were able to enjoy yourself and not play piggy bank for the state.
Yep. And then after, we all went to La Festa and had some pizza, and it was cool.
All right. Well, Cynthia from Dover, New Hampshire, thanks for the update.
You're welcome.
This is what a New Hampshire Liberty Forum looks like. And this is what you'll look like if you miss it. The forum runs March 5th through the 8th, 2009.
FreeStateProject.org/Liberty Forum. FreeStateProject.org/Liberty Forum.